disclaimer. Drip is a life changer. Now all I do is chill and write bangers. Morph into the green like the White Ranger. Taking my block to the top just like Jenga. Danger, step on up and get roasted. I'm just trying to make some change like Drip coasted. Posting like daily, put you under hypnosis. Fuck around with another dev and get ghosted. It's hopeless. We so bullish like Mike Jordan. All the fun fading away is quite enormous. Building a bridge, kinda like a chorus for those missing in action like Chuck Norris. Run for us, run away, don't come back. We stick together, on point like thumbtacks. Grab the Iron Man, they gone from one snap. Going hard for the network, that's a fun fact. Danger, step on up and get roasted. I'm just trying to make...
Yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on? Thursday evening for you all, and 4 a.m. Friday morning for me. What's good in the hood of Drip community? Can you hear me? How are the levels? Saw some people in the chat. Let's take a look at that. Buddy Love, pew, pew, pew. Gotcha. Always get fight night vibes from intro music. Hey, I gotta fix the intro. I just found out that the video stops. Those are just some clips that I got from Epic Sound, so I can use for free. But appreciate that. Buddy Love, taxes. What about taxes? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? I noticed that I forgot when I scheduled this that, yeah, typically Forex has his AMAs or lives or just check-ins at the same time. I think there's one going on right now. I saw that in Telegram about the Animal Farm. What are you guys' thoughts on the Animal Farm V3? Excited? Could care less? Think it's going to be epic? What are your thoughts? trying to see what drip is at this morning. Are we still at 4 cents or did we drop lower? You never know. Wake up and it's like shit hits the fan overnight. 24-hour volume, 12K. Man, that's just sad to see. Yes, I'm not sure you guys can hear me. Anybody co-sign that? I don't want to keep talking to myself. I'm seeing that it looks like the levels are good. I see some audio going through, but don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Ah, gotcha. All right, could care less. Let's reference the Animal Farm. 3 cents. Oh, so we are at 3 cents. Okay, so this is not up to date then. Well, I mean, it's not surprising actually, because you know, to get 10 to 20,000 per day of sell volume, 10 to 20,000 BUSD sell volume, and nobody buying the token, it's going to continue to go down. So there is literally nothing to stop it. Even the initiatives for the reservoir, I haven't put any focus on that in the last couple of months, but it does add a stable price floor, but it doesn't fix the root cause. So it doesn't matter how much drip you or how much liquidity you add to the reservoir when you have this much sell pressure, sorry. That's just the nature of the beast at this stage. People are not happy. And even if they continue to compound, that debt obligation's got to be paid to somebody. So you can only kick the can down the road for so long. You can only ask people to keep dumping money in for so long unless there's some sort of initiative to course correct the ship. And asking people to keep going back in their pockets isn't the right answer. But I'm still going to do some stuff on the res because I want people to understand how it works and how the support works for the entire system. But there's no amount of liquidity that you can inject from within our ecosystem, the community members, that will offset the lack of buy pressure. It's just math. I just sold $1,027. Yeah, that's brutal, man. I actually got a video coming up about all this. I'm going to be in the same boat because I now have 2 Max wallets. I got a second Max wallet that will come out in like 5 days or something like that. So I'm gonna be selling as well, periodically, trying to create a sell and claim strategy, or sell and hydrate strategy, because mathematically it doesn't make sense to continue to make a bunch of Max wallets. That actually just worse for you as an individual to be selling at these prices, but technically it's the best for the system overall. Sucks. Sell drip for pigs? No, I personally wouldn't. There is no reversal in the pigs at all at these right now. And I personally reference V3 since I asked that question earlier. I don't see V3 doing anything for pigs. It's a nice innovative tool, and Forex has found a gap in the market for it. But the way pigs work is you have to have capital to put onto the farm. And this is the exact same claims he made for V2. Animal Farm V2 is going to revolutionize farming and the way people interact with contracts on the blockchain. And then people will come from ApeSwap and BuySwap and multi-chain, all this other stuff. That's exactly what he said would happen with V2. And it didn't. Why? Because people don't want that. It's just that simple. And that was before the bottom fell out of the market where we are now. So pigs get its value from the amount of liquidity staked on the farm. Let's take a look at that. So you can't just magically make pigs valuable. And the real value in the pigs is the yield being generated Well, since he no longer is doing any injections, which is going to dry up anyway, and now that he's waited to do buybacks, remember when we were doing dog buybacks, dogs were, $5, $10 maybe? I can't even remember. So now if he does any dog buybacks, or burns, I should say, it's less liquidity that would go into the animal farm. I haven't even checked that recently to see how much is in those wallets. But point being, it's going to have less of an impact. And as I was mentioning, the actual value of pigs is based off of how much volume is actually sitting in the farms. And there is no incentive for outside capital to come and place their assets in the farms and pools, even though he's going to be changing the yields and making it attractive. But think of it again from a degen perspective. So now you have this amazing yield being generated from the farms and pools. Cool. So the percentages are high. That's attractive. But the minute they find out that capital on the farm and the yield they're generating is put into a token that has a 90% tax, and they have to wait 90 days to trickle out their investment, we know that timing in DeFi is actually paramount because things can shift immediately. So why would you want to lock up your capital to trickle out an asset that's been depreciating for over a year and you only get it back at 1% per day, and it's depreciating more than 1% per day? This is dogs, even though it sounds just like drip. And then to later wait to be able to do something with that dog capital to sell it at a depreciated price from the 90 days that it dropped, whereas you could take a smaller yield from PancakeSwap or anywhere else and be able to do something with that capital immediately. That's what degens want. They're not here for vesting. They're not here for, hell, barely even like a couple days to wait to make a return on their investment. So that's why, me personally, I do not think pigs and or V3 will be attractive to outside players. All the capital that's here is from within the ecosystem. There is nothing to attract people outside the ecosystem. That's why TBL keeps going down, and they're not going to come once they see that tax or play around with that tax and see how that works. So this will only go up based off of the existing liquidity in the drip ecosystem, or these people that have moved capital to other places in the drip ecosystem, like, maybe your whales that got out of the pools and farms and went and farmed somewhere else. They'll put some of their capital back, but they're not going to be any attraction from outside, no matter how much marketing he puts on this. You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig, right? The drip chat reminds me of a cult. It is indeed, sir. Uh-oh, lag fest. Oh shit, did it start lagging again? Stay away from anything from Forex. Respect your work, coach. There's other protocols doing good out there. It might be time to diversify your bag and content. Well, I'm going to keep my bag is diversified, but I'm going to keep with the drip content till it is no longer viable. So at least if the community's here trying to do something about it and there's still energy in the space to course correct, then I'm going to stick with it. If it completely dies, which, by technical terms, it can't due to it being a smart contract and not BSC, I'm going to stick with it until that happens, no matter what. That's just the nature of the game. And as far as diversifying to other assets, the big thing I plan on doing is building my own platform. So whatever project or whatever. And that would be with the support of the community. So rather than me waste my time gambling on someone else's project, I'd rather build my own, knowing what I'm capable of, and get the right people on the job and the right community members to support it. Then that way I'm not gambling. So for me, as I told you guys multiple times, this was a $40,000 in DeFi Degen University, $40,000 investment. So it's just like in the US, if you're from the US, you pay for college, go into debt. A lot of people do. For a 4-year degree, it's about, 40 grand, usually more in some places, but you go there just to get knowledge and have a piece of paper. Well, I definitely got my graduation certificate from DGNU. So I'm not worried about pulling into that capital back out, ROI or anything from Forex's side. Like, definitely believe it can come back, like I said, with the help of the community, building my own project. Mystifies, we talk about a project he wants to do. There's lots of energy in the space to do stuff. So it's a matter of capturing that energy. And that's what I'm waiting to see, who aligns with that and what can be done with that. And it would still have some level of drip support. So in my head now, doing a project and just having whatever BNB you earn or whatever stable coin or whatever you earn, take a portion of that and turn it into BNB and stake it in the reservoir. Before it was all about drip buybacks, but now it would just be like put in the reservoir, and that's not that hard. So like if you're stacking BNB, why not keep it in the reservoir for your project? So that would be the route I go. Super simple, in my humble opinion. Oh, good now. So the audio's good. Yep. I'm still waiting to buy a new computer out here. Probably maybe around Christmas or something like that. It's crazy how electronics out here are actually more expensive than they are in the US. And when I moved over here in the beginning, I thought they'd be cheaper over here because they literally come from over here. It's like, hey, my next door neighbor makes these computer chips, so it should be cheap. But for some odd reason, the import tax and everything is just through the roof. And the stuff, they actually, of course, don't make any laptops or electronic components here in Cambodia. All that stuff comes from China, Korea, Japan, Vietnam, things of that nature. But for some odd reason, even though it's literally next door, it's still super expensive. It's crazy. The alternative would be to fly into the country and get it. That for sure works. But I'm not going to do that to get a laptop. And it does everything I need to outside of the streaming. That's the only shitty part, unfortunately. So just going to take the good with the bad. It is what it is. Let's see. Kevin Linton, I like the idea of the farm, but buying pigs or dogs is foolish. I do think that Cake BUSD farm to make dogs and hold the dogs to combine with BUSD might work long term. Definitely not a DJ play. Yeah, farming is solid. Like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the farm. I'm not shitting on the farm at all. I'm just saying that the energy in the space, kind of as you just mentioned, is not a DJ play. So people with large amounts of capital. So let's go back to your example, Cake BUSD. So let's take a look at that. So they could come over here if they understand it. That's the biggest issue that Forex's team does not get. The complexity of the farm and how it works just kills any sort of investor. There's a phrase in marketing: if you confuse, you lose. People will naturally gravitate towards whatever object or product or service solves their problem and they understand it. And they will take simplicity and a lack of extra benefits and features, or in this case, simplicity and lower yield, than complexity and higher yield. Guaranteed every single time. That's why crypto has not seen mass adoption. Just the act of making a wallet and a seed phrase is enough friction for people to be like, I'm out. I don't want it. Screw it. They need to be able to do it the same way you do right now with any other website. Use your Gmail. If you can use your Gmail, even though it's not that's centralized, and you definitely get hacked with Gmail, but that's the simplicity of what people expect in just traditional retail interaction as a whole. So until it gets as simple as basically an email to set up a crypto wallet and then clicking a button as easy as Amazon Prime to interact with a contract, any level of friction above that is going to cause people to fall off at different levels. So back to your example of Cake BUSD, and I have some Cake BUSD, so I'm right there with you. I have both of these actually, and I'm staking them here, earning shitty ass yield. So this, let's say it goes up, a bunch of APR like he says it will. Okay, cool. But again, it's taxed at 90%. So ideally what I would want to do as a degen is I would want to be able to earn that cake on PancakeSwap and then turn around and sell it. So we go to PancakeSwap, sell it without having this vesting tax. And not to mention, you get these dogs and then you got to go place them in the dog pound. Now with this NFT and all this migrating stuff, you got to let them sit there so that the tax goes down. And in your example, you said pair it with BUSD. Well, that means you have to have additional capital to put into it. So there's just so many steps, man. And like, of course, us that are in it, we get it. But try explaining this system to someone else, someone sitting with a bunch of capital on another farm and just like, hey, man, come over here. You'll earn more yield. OK, cool. Let me check it out. What? Yeah, watch these 30 videos in this hour-long AMA and then move your capital over. Oh, don't forget that you're getting a 90% tax on the yield-bearing asset that you earn. Sound cool? Yeah, sure. All right. It's just not going to happen. Let's see. What other projects are you in? I'd have to actually check, to be honest, but mainly just your blue chips. I'm not really degen wise. I haven't done anything. Like I said, if I do anything, I'm going to build it myself. So since there's nothing that I'm looking to get into, degen play wise, because why gamble on somebody else's project when I could build my own and know how it works? So I haven't done anything with it. But everything else is just the blue chip stuff. Holding BTC in a cold wallet and some ETH staking. Yo, this guy always working. What up, Matt? I got a PhD gen in Forex DeFi. Yeah, well, I think we all do, man. For sure. If you've been around at least a year now with Drip, yeah, you earned it. For sure. And if you put the capital up, you earned it. I'm going heavy on both Jesus Coin and Monk Coin. Yeah, I saw that popping up. I have 2,300 plus or minus in Cake BOC, making about 12 dogs per week. That ain't bad. So you're getting a whopping 36, we'll call it $40 a week. And you got to wait, 90 days to get that $40 out. And by that time, it's not worth $40 anymore. That's my issue. Crypto, the 90% turns off every investor. Yep. And I think even before they get to the 90% turn off, it's the complexity of the system. 90% going to 99 with V3. Agree with you 100%. It's too complicated for the masses. Yeah, that's not just DeFi. That's not just what Forex built. That's the entire space. So we just added a layer of complexity on top of a layer of complexity. And it's just very challenging to explain that to anyone. I forgot what I was coming over here to look up. What was it? BUSD and Cake? I thought they had it easier to do here. Yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at Cake BUSD just to see what that is on the V3 side. So the APR is taking a while to show up. All right, so we'll wait for that to pick up. Agree with you, complicated, but it's a Forex project. Who? Yep. It is what it is at this stage. I'm not sure how this will pick up in the bull run. And how the community will shape up for there and how the tokens will look by that stage. There is a lot of unknown unknowns moving into that. So it will be interesting. So looking at just a tight range on this, it's like 10%. So that's not that impressive, of course. And we'll have to see how that compares to this right now, 26. So it's like, okay, cool. Right now you're getting, almost 3x as much, but you lose all that value over the course of time with the staking. And you already lost some of the people getting in with the complexity. So, and what's V2 currently? Let's see what the actual V2 is. Let's go back to that. So that's 10%. And there's probably still people sitting in the V2 pools. 3%. That dropped substantially. So yeah, it goes up a little bit, that's for sure. But how has Cake been performing as well? And again, maybe like who mentioned that? DeFi or Die, I think. When you mention that? But yeah, maybe Cake in the bull run is going to be, you know, bullish. But again, degens are not waiting for the bull run. They're still here. That's why Pepe took off, you know, 6 months ago. There'll be something else that kicks off before the bull run. Some other meme degen project will rip, and you know that'll just show you that yeah, there's still money here. We're still sitting at $1 trillion market cap, which is, you know, not bad. Cake. What is Cake doing? It's not doing much. That's for damn sure. Let's see. 7-day low, $1.23. All-time low 3 years ago. 43 was the all-time high 2 years ago. Let's look at 1 year. So yeah, it's just been trending down, but I got to give PancakeSwap some props. They do keep innovating. Like I was playing the PancakeSwap Protector, whatever that was. Got into that for a couple days. It's a lot, man. And again, that's a perfect example. The game is super complicated. There's so many moving pieces going on with that thing. I was just like, I'm done. I'm not trying to play this to earn. And it used to be here. I don't even know if they're advertising it anymore. Maybe the hype died out and nobody's playing it. And they realized, yeah, they made it too damn complicated. They put so much going on. But it was like Protectors of the Pancake or some weird thing. So I don't even see it advertised here anymore. But I was playing it for like the first 2 weeks, trying to get in and play. There it is, Pancake Protectors, play every day. But way too many moving pieces. Gave up on it. Let me go back to the chat. Let's see. An update. And update you and Driptopian discuss anything to do able changing drip referral system, no hydrates. Michael Jones, no. There's nothing that will be done with drip that requires Forex intervention. So regardless of how the community would want things changed, that's not going to happen. So the solutions that we come up with must not involve Forex, because one, he's already stated he's not going to change things. Two, even if he decided he would, it will take him forever to implement them. Remember how long it took to get drip on before all the UI stuff and all that. Drip was dropping tremendously, and it took forever to get him to change from 1 drip to 10 drip. Like we were already at $1 or lower already. And then now it's still 10 drip to start a faucet. And that should have been updated a long time ago. Like he should have wrote a script or something that basically kept a dollar value to start a faucet. Because remember, it was 10 drip originally, then it went to 1 when drip was, you know, in the hundreds, and then back to 10 when it got cheaper, or back to 1 for a while, stayed there. And then now it's 10, but it's 10 on 3 cents, 4 cents. So it's 30 cents to start a faucet. So point being that I'm getting at is that if you're relying on Forex to make changes to quote unquote fix drip, save drip, improve drip, not going to happen. So all solutions cannot involve Forex. I think he's proven by his actions where his interest is and where his focus is. And the community has to just realize, okay, he built it, contracts work, we got Triple D, now it's on us. So no matter what, the other stuff, no matter how great the idea is or what it would do, it's not going to get changed. Just put that in your head and then move forward with solutions that don't require that level of support from the Drip Core team. That's my 2 Satoshis. Let us know when you start your project. I invest in people now, not projects. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Acidic Cipher. I think we all originally invested in people and drank the Kool-Aid on Forex. So I know when I did my research, like I got a video coming out now that I was like, oh man, if I could go back looking at my content and, you know, I did tons of research. Like I went through every single one of his messages in his Discord. I watched all the AMAs and I'd already gotten in, but when I started making content, I was doing all of that. So within the first month of me being in, from the first video I had watched all that content. I had done quote unquote my research, and I thought I was investing in the person as well. Fast forward 18 months later, man, oh man, would I go back and change and shake my old self? So I appreciate you supporting me, but the way I believe we succeed, as I said, the African proverb states, you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. So any project I create, it must have, one, a support of the community. So by community, I definitely mean like your individuals like Moonshot Max and Drip Gardner and Driptopian, possibly. I'm not sure if he supported or not, but I'll reach out to people like that, Driptopian and Scott and you know, everybody else. There's a bunch of names I'm drawing a blank while trying to think on screen. But even like Mo, I saw him in there, and DeFi Strategy, DeFi Crypto Boss, all these people. So it'd be a matter of rallying as many people behind it first, then get them to reach out to their communities and see what does the community actually want? What will they support? Because we're just talking heads. Me right now on stream, me making videos, I just try to speak my mind, and then some of you will resonate with that. Okay, cool. Well, then now there's 12 other people in the community that do the same thing. So if you are speaking on behalf of people, or the people have support that content creator, then that means you have a good temper test. If you gather those individuals together and they reach out to their communities to get the pulse, pun intended, on Drip or the ecosystem or what they want to get into, and then you build from that. Don't build what you think people want. Build what people actually want and will support, because you need their money. Why would you give them something that they don't want? Instead, ask them. Be like, hey, what do you want to gamble with? What do you want to get into? Do you want to play, fucking tic-tac-toe? All right, let's build a tic-tac-toe dash. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. As long as they tell you they're going to put their capital up and it's safe, then build it for them. And then you iterate from there. If it doesn't work or whatever, I guarantee people will still support you and support the projects if you build something and it just doesn't work, but you built it with them in mind and they had a hand in the build process. And it doesn't need to be these super complicated contracts. It can be stuff that can be super simple, that can be copied repeatedly and then restarted. Like I gave the idea of literally just making a project that has like a limited contract duration, where just after the end of 30 days, let's just say, everybody who got in gets reset to 0, and whatever the balance is, it rolls into a new contract and everything migrates over, and then now you got a chance to be first, and it's just automatic countdown, kind of like the lottery is, but there's no token involved, no speculation and stuff like that. It's whatever, like a BNB miner or something, whatever goes in comes out. And then you give people an opportunity to be first. You fix stuff with like referral codes and leeching and all that. Just fix all that stuff and then just make it a self-destruct contract, I guess. Again, I don't know anything about Solidity, but you can see the energy in the space and what they're looking for. People just want to ape in and hype brand new things. They want new stuff. Well, give them new stuff. Like, why is that so complicated? Until the mass adoption gets there, don't worry about the actual utility. The utility right now is Ponzi-nomics, speculative, degen gambling. That is the utility. You build enough hype around that, enough money, enough liquidity, enough support, then you can actually build sustainability afterwards. And I don't think that's going to come until the next bull run. It's not actually, I think sustainability, utility come when regulation comes, because that's when the actual capital comes into the space. They will be the ones to build these things that mass adoption supports. you know, say your Riot Gaming Studio builds something or whatever, like these big companies build something, you know, Nike right now teaming up with Artifact, the NFT project. Well, when they all of a sudden make something where when you buy a Nike shoe, it gives you royalties on future sales of that shoe, whatever. That's when you'll see mass adoption, because people will get it. It's like, oh, I just go to the store, I pick out the shoe I want, I scan my debit card or touch my phone to the terminal, and then Nike's app on my phone that I already have shows this balance of tokens or this picture of this shoe. And I can then, I'm earning something on this. I can go back and use those imaginary tokens, like, you know, loyalty credits and stuff like that, and buy more shoes. Or what do you know? I can trade it in and I get money for it, and I can do it directly through my bank. They take this Nike token or whatever. It has to be something super simple like that. And when those institutions build that, then you've got utility, because everybody can copy paste that model. Right now, you got the degens trying to figure it out, but nobody willing to put up enough capital to sustain it, and no regulation to make it supportive externally. So it's a lot. And that was a long rant to talk about building projects. I get long-winded and sidetracked. But appreciate it, Acidic Cypher. So, Coach, drip is dead from your point of view. Nothing to turn it. No, I never said that. Gaming op light. I told you guys multiple times, as long as the drip community supports it and the tokenomics are there, it doesn't take much to turn drip around. You're looking at, where's the damn amount of drip? It's like 6 million or something in the faucet. Forgot where to see that. Should be, yeah, here when that updates. But let's just call it 10 million. It's not even 10 yet, but that's all you need to be focused on if you want drip to pump. So it's never going to die in the sense that it's not attractive for some people to continue playing, but it will continue to go closer and closer to zero, and then go below zero if nothing changes. So if the price is your definition of dead, then you could say so. But the tokenomics and the ability to course correct the ship is still there. It's baked in. It's not going to change. So you could get some major influence, some major company that's willing to, you know, tie drip to a DApp or something like that. You could eliminate this circulating supply like in a heartbeat. And for some odd reason, I still can't see it. So that is very strange. So reference that. No, I don't think it's dead. Reference price. Yeah, it's extremely poor. There we go. 15 million. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, that's between the two dexes. Yeah. So we're just under 10 for each still. Forex left his community for dead. Now he claims he has 150,000 users to bait for the farm. Yeah, I did hear that on the last AMA. I was like, why do people keep saying that? We know, like, it's okay to say 150,000 individual wallets. Like, that's fine. But you know damn well there's not 150,000 members in drip community. Everybody knows that. Like, well, I can't say everybody. Anybody being honest knows that. But it is a nice metric to sell and make it sound better than it is. 150,000 unique investors, as I've heard used, is a lot better than 150,000 wallets. But still, it's nothing to shake a stick at by saying we have 30,000 to 50,000 people. Like, that's still pretty good. There's nothing wrong with that. Be humble. Be realistic, you know? So could Forex hand over the reins to a roundtable stuff that's changeable? Yeah, he could. Will he? No. Super simple answer, Michael. Yeah, he definitely could, because the faucet is changeable. You can change the amount you can that's required. You can change the referral rewards. You can change the round robin rewards. All that can be changed and has been changed. All that is mutable. All that could definitely fix it. And Forex could 100% hand the reins over to a decentralized DAO or roundtable, so to speak, voted on by the community. And he could step right out of drip. Yep, he could. Will he? No. Easy answer. Caleb, drip needs to be salvaged by supply and get the liquid drip out of the rebuy the sell-offs at the own the supply only way it will work. I didn't quite understand any of that, but let me see. I mentioned this in a video. You're not gonna affect the liquid drip. People need to get that out of their heads now. Liquid drip will continue to stay liquid, especially a drip at these prices. It is much more attractive to a outside investor, especially a whale, to buy and hold drip and wait for a price pump. And you cannot change that. You can't cry about it and wish that people would do it and try to make incentives for it, because there is zero incentive with drip at these prices to put drip into the faucet. The faucet, as I mentioned on my stream or in videos before, that part is dead at this stage, or very close to. I think I meant it at a third of a penny is when it's truly not attractive to buy fresh drip and put it into the faucet. So the closer it gets to the penny, the more less likely people are going to be to use the faucet, which means they can still buy drip. So there's still that benefit, but there is zero incentive to put it into the faucet. It's much better for them to keep it in their wallets, and they will do exactly that. So there's no sense in trying to convince people to do otherwise. And that's not going to change until drip is back above $10 or so, I would say, because anything below that, people are just going to continue to speculate and be like, well, maybe I can still get a quick flip. So you're looking at 32 million and take out the 15 from the two top contracts. So yeah, 15 million is basically liquid. 17 million is liquid. So, and again, you can't change that incentive. Let's do some quick calculations on stream, because drip is now 3 cents. So you got 27,400 for a max wallet times 1.1 if you deposit a faucet. So you need 30,140 drip to buy a max wallet. And if you did that times 0.03, it's less than $1,000. So most people have put in more than $1,000 in drip. So ask yourself honestly, if you had $1,000 to throw into a project right now, like a gambling, whatever, let's say your risk capital is $1,000 a month. Would you take that 1,000 and throw it into the faucet, or take that 1,000 and hold it at 3 cents and then wait for a 5 cent pump and then sell it? You'd sell it, because you can buy it off the deck. So there's no tax. So you have the 30,000. So we go back to this example, you got 27,400. So now you bought it and you're not staking it, and you bought it at 3 cents. So that's $822 that it cost you. If you get all you need now is basically a 15% price pump on drip. We'll go with 20 to be modest, because that way, you're in profits times 0.2. Oops. 0.03 times 1.2. So you got 20 cents. So now it has to just be 3.6 if it was 3 flat. So basically drip going from 3 cents to 5 cents, you would already ROI, versus trickling out in the faucet, which we know long term is going to continue to depreciate right now. So there is zero incentive for people to put fresh capital into the faucet. Zero. That's the sad, ugly truth. So as I mentioned before, and kind of back to that other question, is drip dead? No, pieces of the system will indeed die based off of price action. So the faucet becomes a slow death based off of price action. It just does not have any allure for people to get in. It's still super attractive for those in the impoverished side of the world, like where I live. When you're making less than $10 a day, let's just say your risk capital is 1% of that. Less than 10%. Let's say it's 10%. So that's $1 a day. So you can put in $30 a month. It's very attractive for somebody at that stage, because $30 a month, that would take you 30 months to buy a flat out faucet at 3 cents, but you can be compounding and earn something on it. So if we were to be able to onboard millions of the impoverished and say, hey, this is gambling. It's just like the scratch ticket you guys have here, but it could be something. You know, if you're willing to put $1 a day over the next 30 days, who knows? Yeah, maybe that's an option. Drip needs to be salvaged. That's what. Yes, that was for Caleb. If you build a project, I'm in it. Appreciate that, Joe. Coach. Quit with the logic of bringing product to the avatar that wants it. We have 150,000 unique users. I know what they want. Here's Animal Farm, everyone. Yeah, that's a great summary. Those of us like Matt, like myself, anybody who's built a business, yeah, you learn really quickly that you have to listen to your audience. You can't sell shoes to a snake. You can if you're a snake oil salesman and you have malicious intent, but they're not going to keep coming back for more. That's for sure. So you have to listen to what your clients tell you they want. Now, there is some caveat to that, as the old adage goes by Henry Ford. If I had to ask people what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse. Now, he didn't give them a faster horse, but he did actually replicate that into an innovative product. So it was still product market fit, and it was still innovation, and it still solved the need that people actually wanted. And it was still met with a lot of friction by the regulation and stuff like that. So you have to be able to create something that can weather the storm, but your client will rally behind, and they understand it easy enough to use. So like going from the horse to the car, the Model T, yeah, it was just like, okay, I sit on this thing or sit in this thing and it takes me from point A to point B. Cool. Got it. And then all I got to do is get in the front and spin this wheel. All right. I can do that. That was super simple. What do you think about all those projects on Pulse that launched a few weeks ago are all super sus? Oh, yeah. That's anything in the space right now, man. Like, I'm not in Pulse at all. I didn't get into Hex or Pulse Chain. Like, I wasn't around for that. So I haven't even taken a look at that. But you got to go where the money goes. So everything is suspect, period. Right? So I'm not hating on anybody that has migrated over there or sees the shiny objects on Pulse or even Base for that matter, because it's an opportunity. When you're not making money over in one spot, then you're going to go gamble in the other one. Like, that's exactly why we're all here. I think somehow or another, myself, I'll speak for myself, got wrapped up in this kind of drinking the Kool-Aid cult-like mentality and forgot why we got here in the first place. What brought us in was the allure and the bells and whistles of people making money and becoming millionaires overnight. You know, they had Shiba Inu people on the freaking news going like, this guy made $1 billion overnight. Of course, he didn't pull any of that out, but that's what his bag was worth. So that's why we're here. And even though it's few and far between to become overnight millionaires, we're all looking to change our financial situation in a relatively short period of time. When you lose sight of that and you get into this cult-like mentality, then you actually get wrecked. So I still don't believe in diversification, but you do got to be willing to step on some landmines. That's what I've learned now. Before, I was preaching, find that one true project and stick with it and ride it out. Well, look how well that's got me. And I've been seeing people make money in other places. So I've been riding it out for 18 months. So if all the things I've learned now, accumulative wise, I would definitely go back and redo something else. So like diversification and writing a project down to zero, there's a fine line between the two. It's really challenging because I could have easily taken this money that I put all into Drip and split it and then gone and gambled in other projects and maybe got rug pulled, maybe got made some money in some. Like, I have no idea what the bag would have been because that's completely gambling. Like, you're just navigating a minefield and you can get lucky and you can get wrecked. Well, I wrote it out with this whole hardcore and it didn't do anything either, right? So what's the right play at the end of the day? Well, to me, the right play is if you're interested in making money, then you got to go where the money and the energy is, and you got to be willing to take the risk with it. So I went from being a degen to trying to be an investor, because that's what Forex told me was a smart money play, to being a degen again, to now being much more of a degen and saying, yeah, screw it, man, jump around, be a promiscuous degen. Be willing to, like, if I could do it all over again, let's go back. I would say, like, let's say you have $1,000 of risk capital each month. It's like, okay, find one project that you do truly believe in and allocate a portion of that and continue dollar cost average, do all that stuff with it, like, and put up like 25% or something like that. With the other 75%, break it up into small chunks and then just start spreading that shit around. Go hoe yourself out. Be promiscuous. I don't really know anything, because that's the best way to actually learn all the different contracts and how things work as well, because everybody has different mechanics, different tokenomics, different communities. So it's better. It's kind of like a buffet. Better to sample all of that so that when the bull run comes, you have much more exposure and understanding so you can make smarter moves. So kind of look at throwing that money as just, testing the buffet cuisine and be like, yep, that tastes like ass. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, I could have more of that if that works. Cool. That chef does a good job when they make something. Like, but if you don't do that, then you have no experience, so lessons learned on my behalf. And I'm just sharing that with you guys. Too little too late right now, because I'm not throwing another 40K into DeFi here at all. LTD max, yes, Maximus 50K max. Yeah, I agree. That's my upper number for unique investors is 50K for sure. Diversification, agreed. Beautifully said. Appreciate that. Trap DeFi, salute to you too, sir. All right, that's like a great place to wrap up. We at the 10-minute mark. I try to keep things on time and starting on time, ending on time. So I don't make my streams any longer than like an hour or so. I've had like an hour 10 here and there, but for the most part, man, it's just me ranting, talking about things, if you follow my channel, that you already heard me say. So unless you guys give me questions in the comments, I don't really have anything else to state. What is, let me look at real quick. I didn't check that. Oh yeah, I did. I already have it up. So pigs right now. I thought maybe they were doing a little better or something with the current AMA going on. I think that's on DeFi Strategy or DeFi Guides channel right now. So I'll go back and listen to that. So we still haven't broken the bottom, so it's still good. But I think last I heard from that stream he did with Crypto Chat or whoever that group was that he did last week, is that we still got like 4 to 5 weeks before the Animal Farm launches. So I think pigs will continue to sell off till then. There might be some spike, again, the buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing for people. But I don't see any outside capital coming in to rescue this at all. But even this, again, is insightful. So 20K sell volume, 20K volume on pigs. This is about the volume, again, that we see on Drip. So this tells you what is in the ecosystem. This, I think, is like 12K now, 8 to 10K. It used to be about 20K. But yeah, 12K. So this is moving around in the different assets. So think of it this way. If we had only one project, let's say we only had Drip, you would be able to take all of that volume and combine it into one area. So there's 12K here, 20K on pigs, and what's on dogs? Probably another 10K or so, I'd imagine. Let's see. And dogs is thinking currently. So 20, 12, and 19. So another 20. So 50K of volume every day is circulating in the Drip ecosystem. And this is just what I'm looking at right now. So it could be a little higher, a little lower. So let's just say 50K to 100K is moving around in the Drip ecosystem on a daily basis across all of our assets. And that's not counting BREAP or REAP. If all of that energy was focused into one core project and making it better, imagine how amazing, of course, that core project being Drip could be. But there's so many shiny objects, so many distractions, so many things Forex wants to build and things he starts and then stops. And that is just a huge problem to overcome. It's just too many moving pieces, and none of them are actually operating flawlessly, so to speak. I'm told that people still have issue with Trust Wallet or something like that on Drip or whatever. There was still the issue with us using the multi-sig wallet for the garden. You still got over here on Drip, you still got the leaderboard or whatever that hasn't been fixed, showcasing basically static values here. This isn't even a real address, hasn't changed. That was supposed to be implemented. So nothing is actually 100% quote unquote perfect, because he's got so many things he's trying to do and hasn't actually fine-tuned and fixed the main core things within the community. And I think if he did that, things would already look a lot better. But that's my 2 Satoshis. Let's see, Matt. Forex got with one of the large YouTubers. His last MA was 6 days ago. He had 4.6K views. The guy has no idea how to assess if what he's doing is working. Yeah, I saw that. I actually got a video coming out on that. I watched the interview, and it's same thing as we've seen before. So it's actually, when you listen to it, if you are on the outside in, it does sound amazing. Us inside are a little bit jaded, but I listened to it, and I listened to the excitement of the actual interviewer's voice, and I read through the chats and saw the 4.6K views on it. And outside in, it sounds great. It is truly innovative tech, but that does not reflect the actual real issues and how this will play out. So we saw this exact same playbook with V2. He did the exact same thing. A bunch of big YouTubers, a bunch of articles, a bunch of paid content from all these big names or whatever, even Twitter blasts. He paid money for all that. And Animal Farm V2, look at it now. So, and we had, what is that? Just under a year for V2 already. We were paused and it took a while or whatever, but that was right around November or October or something like that, right? So we've had all that time to have V2 be this miraculous thing. And then, of course, V3 comes out. And by the time we get V3 out, V4 will be out. So it's just going to be this same narrative. You think V3 is the last improvement that PancakeSwap's going to make? No, of course not. So there's going to be another one. And by the time we get our foot in the door with V3, and he gets all this marketing and stuff behind it and the complexity of the system and people understand it, V4 is out. And then he's like, we got to migrate to V4. It's never ending. You can't win because it's the dragon eating its tail. So we've seen this playbook. We've seen this movie before. And using large influencers is great, probably in the bull run. It is a waste of money and resources right now. And we will see it play out. I'm going on record to state that. So, sitting right now with pigs at $18 and the TVL of the farm at 26 million, we'll be lucky to see 50 again. I think we'll see like 30 to 40. There'll be like a slight increase. I'm not going to say it's going to go worse. There will be a little bit of money flow back in from that left from people that are familiar, but it'll trickle right back out. Like, it's just the initial buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. Coach, any idea why I have had several days, not consecutive days, where I earned 0 drip tokens in a 24-hour period on a max wallet? Nope. Never seen that. Never tracked it enough to know what that is. So I would have to track that myself and see, to be honest. I don't pay any attention to it. I just come in and hit the claim button, and I don't even track to see if it's the right amount or not. Like, I'm so jaded and care less of what's going on over here. So I don't have an answer for you. But I will try to keep that in mind and see if I can track that myself, because I got a brand new Max wallet that will be coming up here in the near future. And that is why I have changed my tune. Spoiler alert, you have to watch that in the upcoming video. But got in a drip 18 months ago and did not think I would have 2 max wallets. Nonetheless, that those 2 max wallets would be worth peanuts, but this one maxes out in 6 days. And this one I built from scratch. You guys been following me. You saw me build this literally about 6 months ago. My first wallet maxed out. I airdropped, compounded, and here I am 6 days from a second max wallet that's worth absolutely diddly squat. So I'm not going to keep building a bunch of max wallets in perpetuity because that is actually a detriment to the protocol. But you'll have to stay tuned for that video to find out. Average views on their vids are tens of thousands after only a day, 4.6K views after almost a week. That is horrible, and it paid for it. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can definitely see the difference in their channels. Yeah, because the only people coming to watch that content is us, for one, supporting it, because you can tell by the comments. And then, yeah, like you said, when you look at their views, yeah, they're dropped compared to their other videos and original content. So people in the space are starting to wisen up to essentially just paid shills, for lack of a better word. So say you're an influencer like this guy and you put out content that you care about or whatever, people will engage with that. The minute you go put out something that you're sponsored to pay for, yeah, people are going to watch it because they like your content or whatever. But there's also people that will tune out and be like, nope, he's just shilling something. I'm out. I'm not going to watch. I'm not interested in it. It's like you can smell the thirstiness in the space, So it just plays on your brand, and it's okay if that is your brand to just literally do paid shills. Okay, cool. People know that. And also there are degens that are like, all right, cool. This guy gets the alpha, I'm in. But there's also another side of it, I believe, with people that, are looking for, in a place of speculation and gambling and rug pulls and deceit and manipulation and hypocrisy. I think they're looking for a little bit of honesty, trust, and transparency. So it shows. That's my opinion, at least. I've been watching on my spreadsheets. I smelled something that didn't seem right, and that's why I started tracking it. Yeah, I'll have to look at it myself. I have not been tracking it, bro. And again, to be honest, don't even care. It's so trivial, the amount of drip I'm earning and the money I've considered just lost. So I appreciate you bringing it to my attention, but I'm going to be honest, I probably won't put in the legwork to track it because I just don't care. I'm just that jaded right now and disgusted, for lack of a better word, as well. But I'll try to keep that on the forefront of my radar. But I'm going to be honest, again, I'm not going to put forth any effort to track my own. Maybe with this new wallet, when it maxes out, it'll be a good test to see so I can track it, from there. But I'm not going to make any guarantees. But definitely, you should keep tracking it. And, if you got something concrete, then I can share it if you bring it to my attention. But I haven't done it myself. All right, smack dab on the hour, man. I'm going to cap it there. And see you guys on the next one. If you are so inclined to join me next week. All right, guys, you know the drill. Lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Enjoy your Thursday and Friday.